Hey guys, Tristan.colborg here with the Denver Real Estate Agent.com and eXp Realty in Denver. Just wanted to go live today and just kind of answer some of the most common questions I've gotten over the last, couple, 2-3 weeks with this crazy real estate market that we are in here in Denver. So I'm going to give it a second just to see who jumps on this Facebook Live to answer any of their questions as well. And of course, never fails is as soon as I start, my dog needs out. So hold on. All right, sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to review some of the questions I've gotten messaged to me recently and just help answer them. So maybe they can help you as well too. Recently, Shan wrote me and said, "Hi Tristan, I'm on the fence whether to buy a house during this crazy market or wait a bit longer, hoping for the above asking price fiasco to take a dip. What are your thoughts?" Shan, I understand what you're concerned about. Right now, every house has multiple offers on it, and many of them are going above asking price. So I understand your concern with that. Now, as far as waiting, whether to wait or not before you buy, that's a tough one to answer. Because we never know exactly what the housing market's going to do, right? It could go up, it can go down, but it's hard to say. But what I could tell you is that the housing market in Denver over, the last, even if you just go back 5 years, has the pricing of houses has gone up every single year. If we look back in April of 2016, so just 5 years ago, the average price for a house was $360,000, and now, we're at $510,000. So, pricing is going up all the time. So when you wait to buy a house, yes, I get there's a lot of houses that are going above asking price. But what you possibly miss out on is one, housing pricing going up next time when you want to purchase a home. And then two, the appreciation factor of if you buy a house now, a year from now, it's going to be worth more money. So you kind of lose out on that when you wait. Now, one thing you could do to avoid getting into like a bidding war with other buyers is you could look at new build construction. There's plenty of new home build communities in the area. There's the Reunion area, there's Green Valley Ranch, there's a ton up in Thornton. So you can look at those new home built areas. Now you may wait longer to purchase, a place for it to be built, but you're not going to be going up against a bunch of people who are paying $50,000, $60,000 over asking price. So that's definitely an option. Hopefully that answers your question, Shan. Next question I have is from Tina. She said, "Tristan, I'm considering selling my home, but I'm worried about being able to find another one to buy during this market. What are my options?" Kind of going back to what Shan's concern is. There's not a whole lot of houses out there, and the ones that are, you're going way above asking price. So it's definitely a big concern for a lot of people. I will tell you, one thing, you could do a couple different options you can do in that case is, so you can sell your current house that you're in, move out, whether do a short-term rental, live with your, family member or something along those lines. I've had personal friends that have done that while they were trying to find another house. So that's an option. Another option that you can do, which some sellers do, is they make the contract or the purchase to buy their home that they're selling contingent on them finding a home, like a replacement home for them selling. So now some buyers may be turned off with that, but at the same time, I mean, you can just put it into, the the listing that it's contingent on you finding another one. And if a buyer wants your property, then they'll wait. So that's definitely an option. Another option you can do is like a post occupancy agreement or like a lease back, where basically you sell your house to the buyer. They take possession of it, and then in the contract, you agree to rent back the property from them for a certain length of time. I mean, whether it's 2 weeks, 30 days, or whatever, for a certain amount per day until you have to be out and into a new place. So that's kind of another option that you can do, Tina, as well. So hopefully that helps. Next question I have here is from Kevin. Kevin says, I keep hearing terms like escalation clause and appraisal gap coverage thrown around. What do these mean? So both of those are terms that you would hear generally put into a contract to buy a property. And an escalation clause is, simply put, is you put an offer on a house for $275 with an escalation clause of up to $285. So if someone comes in with another offer, say at $278 above your offer then raises above that amount to a certain dollar amount, all the way up to whatever you capped out your escalation at. So like $285,000, that would be your maximum offer where it would stop. So that's what an escalation clause is. Appraisal gap coverage. Basically, with what a lot of people are doing right now is they're putting in an appraisal gap coverage clause, which basically says, hey, I want to buy your house for $480,000. If it appraises for $420,000, I will pay the $60,000 difference out of pocket to still purchase the house. Now, in a market right now, a lot of people are sitting on equity, so that if they sell a house, they may have all that cash to do that, and that's what you're seeing in a lot of these offers. Now, if you're selling your house and you get an offer that has, an appraisal gap coverage in there, you definitely want to verify that the buyer actually has those funds to cover the gap between what they're offering and then what they're, what the actual appraisal may come in at, so that you don't have someone who says, oh yeah, I'll pay that, but they don't actually have the funds to pay it. And then you have to go back on market and, be a huge ordeal. So that's what those two terms mean, Kevin. Hopefully that helps. James says, my wife and I are looking to buy a home, but are concerned with how competitive the market is. What can we do to make our offer stand out? So, kind of touching base on the last couple questions. So it's definitely a seller's market. There's lots of offers out there. I just put in an offer on a property, Sunday for somebody. And then on the property that we put an offer in already had 15 other offers. So it definitely is happening right now. You could do what we just kind of talked about. You could put in an escalation clause or an appraisal gap coverage in there. If you go above asking price, just to show that you're serious and you want it. The property, just make sure you have the funds available to do that. You could remove or limit some of your contingencies. Now, I would never recommend this to any of my clients, but you could remove your inspection contingency where, you're not going to have an inspection on the property. Like I said, I would never personally do that. You should always inspect the property, but you could do that. What I'm seeing is some people say, oh, we'll take the property as is. We won't ask for any repairs unless during the inspection there's health or safety issues that cost more than $500 to fix. Then we may ask for those to be fixed. So that's something you can do. The other thing you could do is you could offer the seller like we talked about, a post-occupancy agreement, because that seller may be, trying to find a property of their own to buy. And if you come in and say, hey, we'll make this offer to you, we'll even give you a 30-day post-occupancy agreement to find your own place, that may make your offer look a lot more enticing than if someone doesn't put that in there. So that's another thing you can do. And then the last thing you can do is there are certain companies out there. I think one's like accept.inc. And what they'll do is they'll approve you to purchase a home as a cash offer, fully cash offer. And then once you close on the property, they'll go back and finalize the rest of your loan, and they service it and everything like that. So that's kind of how they do it. But then that gives you like a cash offer. So that looks a lot more enticing to certain people who are selling their home as well too. So hopefully that answers some of those questions. Kim says, hey, great advice for buyers. New builds are a great idea. Yeah, absolutely. New builds right now, yes, they're behind on how long it's taken them to construct them. But if you don't want to get in that bidding war and you have time to wait, new builds are definitely a good way to go. So real quick, if you guys are interested, and you're in the market to buy or sell, I do have a seller's guide, absolutely free, available, as well as a buyer's guide available to anybody who's interested. And we cover all types of things in there, from what are closing costs, what to do after escrow, that type of stuff, as well as how to prepare your home for sale. So if you're interested in getting either one of those free guides, please feel free to check out my website, the denverrealestateagent.com. You can request your buyer or your seller's guide. If you guys have any other questions, message me or find my website, and I'll be happy to help you guys out. Thanks, and have a good day.